our kitchen was literally like next to the fitting rooms, so we would like be making breakfast, and we could hear like our team or like quinceañeras. They'd be like, "Why does it smell like eggs?"
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Quince World Podcast. Just quickly, before we start, if you guys are enjoying these podcasts so far, make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel because we have really cool guests like Miss Gipsy and Gelssy. Hello, guys. What's the age gap?
I'm 25.
And I'm 23.
Oh, okay. So not too far off.
No,
like
we're
a year
like
and a
year and 8 months, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's so fun. But they come from Quince Empire, newly released, and it's awesome. I was so entertained when I went to the premiere. So just starting with that, make sure you guys check that show out after. It's gonna be linked down below.
Hashtag ad.
I'm like, yeah. But okay, let's get into it. You guys were pretty early on, like main people from the show. Like you guys were constant reoccurrences of the show. So how did that start? How did you guys like hear about the show?
Well, you go.
Okay. We do this a lot. We start off together.
We call Alyssa our angel from like, I remember we filmed Life After Quince, and we told her like, oh, you're literally like our angel, because if it wasn't for Alyssa, I feel like she had such a powerful story that a lot of people were engaged with her season and her episode and everything. So she obviously did a couple episodes at the store. I think she did 2 episodes at the store, and you can see like the store was empty. Like we didn't have like any dresses. Like
yeah, if you go back to that footage, like on the second floor of the store, there's like 3-4 dresses hung, and those are like client dresses that were waiting to be picked up. Like we had like no inventory.
Oh my god.
That's how it kind of all started. We started getting a lot of girls like, oh, where'd you hear about us? My dream quinceañera, my dream quinceañera.
We would always ask like to like, oh, who's your favorite MDQ girl? And they would always be like Alyssa. And then when Baby Eileen came in, it was like Baby Eileen.
Yeah. Icon living.
Definitely like a favorite.
So then talking about Eileen, you guys also were like a big collaborator with her. So like, can we hear about that? How did that even started? Or like kind of, because she had a big part of her GUE season on the show. So what was that about?
Yeah, so I remember Eileen never wanted to wear a quince dress. So we're like, we have to like do something with her, right?
Yeah.
So at the time, Gelssy and I had an online shop called MODA, and so we would collaborate with Eileen all the time. We did like our first collaboration collection with her, and they filmed a season like about her designing like the collection and stuff like that. It was really cool.
And then how was that collection? Like, was it successful, or like how was that planning of it with Lourdes as well?
They're so much fun to work with.
I feel like they're so easy to work with, and Eileen just had like a like really good sense of fashion, and I feel like that was more like where her following was going was like towards like fashion. So I feel like it was something that just came naturally, especially like to her and Lourdes, was like picking out like different styles, and they're really easy to work with. So we got really lucky.
Oh, good. I remember going to the show and I was like so impressed. I was like, this is so like, I don't know, it was very like professional. You know what I mean? You guys obviously have like a bunch of shows on ATV, I feel like, or like a bunch of channels.
I feel like we've been on all of them.
I kind of want to talk about your guys' purpose with model material and how it got overturned, and just let you guys tell your story about that, because I'm just now hearing of it, and like I thought everything was rainbows and butterflies, and like it totally was not. So can we talk about kind of model material and its like foundation?
Okay. Yeah. So the M2K models were like the MODA 2000 models. We've always had them for like years. My mom always did fashion shows. So it got to a certain point where I was taking over what my mom was doing, and she was no longer like part of like choosing who was modeling for us and all of that. And I remember Gelssy and I were like, oh, let's get involved. Like, let's like start like a sisterhood with these girls. And we did. And a lot of them were featured like on My Dream Quince. I would always like text Kevin like, hey, I have a girl for you. Like, she has a great story. I was always like looking, you know, I was always looking, because of course, like I'm always gonna be looking for that opportunity for our family business, of course, especially at the time, because we were living because we were living at the store. So I was always like looking and looking. And so when I started seeing like like, wow, like we could really like do like a show like Dance Moms, like Javier's crazy, like there's so much content here.
Yes.
Javier's
And it was
crazy.
like already like the truth of it all. Like it's not like he was really pretending.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
wow.
we really didn't want this show to be scripted at all. Like we wanted it. I feel like the store had so much content that like it didn't need to be scripted. Like it could all be like real stuff that happens like during practices, like real stuff with Javier.
Yeah.
Because like how you see him on the show is usually how he acts.
Wow.
Yeah. I would always see comments like Javier's literally like Abby Lee. Like this is like Dance Moms like on the, I think it was like on a Latina like 2.0. Like there was like a lot of comments like that. So I would like hint stuff at Kevin like whenever like they were filming stuff at the store. And it was during Danny's filming days that there was like a lot of drama. Like Danny didn't invite this one girl, and I was like, Kevin, did you hear Danny didn't invite this one girl? Like that's like drama. And so he started like getting the idea like, okay, like I should pay attention to this. And he started like obviously seeing like what I was trying to like show him. And so I would always like pitch things like, oh, we should do this, or you guys like we should like do this with like the girls or the show. And so it got to a point where I pitched the show, and we pitched the show. Sorry,
she's like,
we pitched the show, and I think it was gonna be called like Quince Queens, like something like that.
Oh yeah,
right. It was like Quince Queens, and it was gonna be like about modeling and Javier and like the whole drama.
It was supposed to be Quince Models.
Quince Models. Yeah. And it was, of course, supposed to be like revolved around our store, which is why I pitched it. And I remember I even like set up like this whole meeting at Awesomeness TV. I was so nervous. I was young, and I was like, oh my god, I'm pitching like at this like and really like
Gipsy doesn't drive. Like she hates driving, and she drove the girls to LA.
Oh my god.
Like so I set
in
everything
the afternoon.
So I set everything up.
Wow.
I was like, these girls are perfect. I like created like the group because we didn't use like the whole actual group that we had during that time. Because I remember they said only like 5 or 6 girls. So I had a casting within like the group, and I'm like, okay, you guys, like we're gonna drive out to LA, like this is the plan. And we set the meeting up and everything. I remember I was so nervous, but when we got there, it just wasn't what I expected. It was just kind of like the idea that I had given was just like turned into like something completely different.
Oh wow. It was more like is it fine if we say it's scripted or? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was more like scripted. Like the whole storyline was like a love triangle and like all this stuff, and then the fashion show was like at the end. I feel like the fashion show was probably the only thing that was like actually happening.
Really?
So I feel like it was just like more of like like a drama like telenovela type of vibe.
And I remember I was just like I got sad, obviously. I was like so young and I was clueless.
And I told her like after she came home from the meeting, she was all sad. And I was like, why didn't you like, like stand up and like say like this is what we're supposed to do, or like say like just speak up at least so like they hear you, that you never know if they might have just like forgotten or whatever. And like now like she definitely doesn't let herself get pushed over.
Oh good.
And I'm even, a bitch now.
Even my mom tells us like ponte perrita, like in English like literally like be the bitch. Like the bitch in a good way, you know, like to like stand up for yourself and not like just let people take over like your ideas or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm a lot smarter than that now.
Oh my god. Like that like taught you such a big lesson so young too.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my god. Wow, that's crazy. So from like that point on, did you still like involve yourself during the show, and like what were you guys doing? Wait, but quickly, in the meeting, was it just all the girls and you?
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
I drove. Some of them brought their moms, but it was mostly me. I was kind of like the parent.
Oh my god, you're just like field trip.
Field trip, literally. I felt like it was a field trip.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Wow, that's insane. Okay, so what were your guys' like moments in model material?
Well, after that, I kind of just like I had to let it go. Like this doesn't belong to me, and so I would just whatever they needed me for. I was obviously gonna still be part of it, but it was just mostly like whatever scenes were at the store.
Or
they just
like
would let us know the fashion show, like all that stuff.
Wow.
I think the fashion show was.
Didn't we put on the fashion show?
Yeah, we put on the fashion show for the show. Like we weren't supposed to have a fashion show
because it was in October, and we don't do fashion shows usually in October. We do them like mid-year and beginning of the year.
Oh, really?
So it was basically like busy with planning the fashion show for the show. You guys are going to be on a new show called Quince Models. that had to happen
Yeah.
so that we could be here and everyone could be like creating like their own
and I
thing.
think if it didn't happen, then we wouldn't have been able to tell our story the way we did on Quince Bosses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So can we
so-
talk about that a little bit?
Yeah.
So, what was that about? How did that start?
So that started because we did a segment on MDQ at
okay.
home during the pandemic.
Okay.
And we self-filmed like helping Honey find a dress, something like that, right?
Natalie, right? Or Honey?
It was Honey on FaceTime, and we were helping her find a Quince dress for her friend Natalie.
We turned in the footage, right? And Kristen, Kevin's wife, was like, "Oh, you need to get these girls a show." And I think Kristen, like, secretly was always vouching for us. So.
Yeah, she was.
gets it.
So
She
she knows the
loves
vibe. Yes. So I don't know. Kevin just listened to her or something. Something happened where like Kristen like really went into Kevin's head and he like called us, and I still have like I was recording it on Snapchat, like the whole call with Kevin and Gipsy, and I still have the video, and Kevin's like telling us like they're interested in filming a show by your guys' stories, and it was literally like what we had originally pitched.
Oh, wow.
It was gonna be like our actual story, like how like the store started and like the struggles through the store. Because I feel like when people see the store, they think it just happened like either overnight.
Yeah, it looks so glamorous.
Yeah, or that it's like that there really was like no struggle. It just like happened, you know.
Oh, wow. Can we talk about like your guys' time at living in the store?
Yeah.
Just if you guys want to talk about it quickly, I'm just also very nosy. And I was like, oh my God, when you guys mentioned it at the premiere, I was like, wait, what? Because like when I walk in, I see this huge store and it's like looks insane, but it's like nobody really knows that story. So can we talk about that quickly?
Yeah, so the way it happened was, we were in really bad like financial times, and they were like, we're just gonna stay at the store for like 2 to 3 days like max. And I remember the first night we were there, and I think Gipsy was out like
I was
out
out,
with
yeah.
like friends that day.
Oh, how
So
old
she
were
didn't-
you guys?
I was 16, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I was 18. I was a
Oh my
senior in high
gosh,
school.
so you guys were like old.
Yeah.
Well, like not old. but like you guys were older, like enough to
Yeah.
remember everything.
Yeah, I think I was still a sophomore, and I was a junior.
And I was a
yeah.
Oh my
senior, yeah.
gosh.
And I remember we got there, and I was just like laying on the mattress, and then Gipsy comes in like at 11 o'clock at night, and she's just like,
I just
sniffly.
started crying. Like,
and then I joined her.
Yeah.
I was like,
I guess I'll get in on this.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna take part of like the drama. So literally like we were just like there crying the first night, and then I think we just like adapted. But it was a fun experience, and I remember one time during like I think definitely filming like with like ATV helped us get out of our home, because
Yeah.
like
Okay.
with growing up Eileen, Kevin, we like threw a fashion show, and we were like, where are we gonna do it? And we're like, oh, we'll do. I think Kevin wanted to see the back, or he wanted to do
Yeah.
it like in the back, and we were like, oh, like that's where our kitchen's at.
You want some water?
So we're like, my mom was like, yes, Kevin, like we'll do anything.
my
Kevin.
mom literally, if Kevin were to say, Gina, I need you to empty out the whole store, like she would have done it.
Yeah.
Like she would have
She's like,
done
I don't know where I'm putting
anything and
everything, but it's
everything.
gonna be out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's
literally
crazy.
I remember like we were like even like in the morning, like we were taking like all of our stuff out, so like our living spaces were getting smaller.
Oh my
And then-
god, it's so funny because our kitchen was literally like next to the fitting rooms, so we would like be making breakfast, and we could hear like our team or like quinceañeras, they'd be like, why does it smell like eggs? Or like, why does
I
it
remember
smell
one time I was making salmon. And somebody was like, does it smell like salmon? Like so
It was so funny. I don't know why. Like I decided to get a dog while we were living at the store. I just like to make my life complicated. So I decided to get a dog, and he would like run out, and he'd be like running around the whole store, and it was just like so confusing to people.
Oh my God, that's I mean, that's like you guys really made do with what you had. So throughout like all the things you guys have done, like have you guys always gotten along, or like have you guys had some bumps in the road through that? Because I feel like you guys are like sisters. So
Oh, Gelssy and I?
yeah.
We like fight here and there, but
I think for like half of the Quince Boss like show we weren't talking.
Oh
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, we had gone into like this huge fight, and we weren't talking for like 2-3 months.
Okay.
And that was like I think towards the end of Quince Bosses.
Oh really?
Yeah, so like we literally were like not talking, and then they tell us to film, and we're like we would
Yay.
yeah.
Oh my God, you just like put on a front.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I feel like it gets to a point where we like kind of forget what we're fighting about, so
Oh,
it
okay.
doesn't really matter. But
Yeah.
we're like so like hard-headed that we're like, I'm not gonna like give in first, or,
you know, like stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's funny. Okay, so earlier during like my podcast, Danny told me that you guys were not big fans of her. What was your guys like in the beginning when she's like she's like now no in the beginning, what was like the thing that changed, or like what was your first impression of her?
My first impression of Danny was she was like I don't even know how to she distracted all the girls.
Okay.
So
like
whenever
was it like the model material girls or like the girls that were trying on the dresses?
No. They were like, it was a group before model material.
Oh, okay.
So like the OGs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
so Danny actually, like from those girls, model material, she was the one that's been modeling with us the longest.
Oh, okay.
So before model material, she was probably modeling like 2 years before that.
Oh, wow.
So we've known her for a really long time. We've known her mom for a really long time. And so she started off really young. And I think she was like the youngest out of like the group. So she had a lot of energy.
Oh, yeah.
She still does have a lot
like
of energy.
Puppy. That's like how I would describe her.
I remember this one time we had an expo in Fresno. And at that time, like my mom was kind of like the one in charge of calling the models. So I see like Danny's not going to Fresno, and I asked my mom like, how come Danny's not going to Fresno? She's like, no, because she just distracts all the girls. Like then they're just like laughing instead of like being like, you know, practicing and stuff. So I felt so bad, but it was kind of true. You know, she did distract the girls.
Wow. And I just remember for me, like she was just like a puppy, like she wouldn't stop.
So what was like what was the turning point for that? Like relationship?
I think definitely just like, not that she matured, but like as like
she's like, because she did.
Not that she matured, but just like the longer we kind of like we took her in as like family. So I felt like the longer we were with her, like the more she grew on us. And she has like a really like fun young energy, like till this day she still has that energy. Yeah. And it's just like you can never be stressed.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So she like lightens up the atmosphere, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, and then especially now that we got really close during COVID, right?
She's basically living with us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. During COVID, we got really close to her, and she was like our little sister. And now, whenever we see each other, we're like sister. And
we've watched her grow up. So
yeah.
And I feel like we're always gonna have that relationship with her.
Even though like there is periods, like especially since we all work together, we're like Tanny's like annoying me, but like but like it's more of like a sister
like
annoyance.
Okay, like she'll relax later.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Okay, so I want to kind of talk about current day in your guys' new show, Quince Empire. You guys like were the masterminds behind it, so can we talk about that for a little?
So we wanted to do it right away, but you know we didn't really know how to go about it. So then we kind of waited, and I think the way that we're doing it now is like perfect. We have like the perfect team, Kevin and Kristen. Like they really understand our vision, and they bring everything that we get ideas of. Like they bring it to life, and they even like add like the extra like
and they let us have like our creative too. Like, and it's not like as heavily scripted as like you know.
And then so the show basically talks about your guys' new line. So since you guys like have had this for so long, what made you guys want to start your own line? So like, what was the inspiration behind it?
Our first like design was like in 2018, and we actually took it one out, and we were like, we didn't call it exclusive at the time, but we're like, let's just start our own line. And we went to LA, we picked out fabrics, and we literally like put the dress on Gipsy, and we were just putting like the applications where we wanted them to be placed. And it was a really fun experience, but we did not know how big we were going to have an impact, and we literally sold out of the fabric like so quick. It was something that we've never experienced before, like even in like within like our company, like just like how many girls wanted like these dresses. And we call them volumes, and now like girls come in, they're like, oh, I want volume 2, I want volume 3. Definitely for us it was such like a crazy impact, and it definitely changed the way that like we looked at like the store. And now we're going like way more into like exclusive designs and like designing different dresses. And it's such a fun part to like be able to do it like all together.
After this, are you guys planning a second season, or
it's filming right now? I'm just kidding.
This is it.
No, but we are, right?
Yeah, we definitely do want to do a second season. I feel I just feel like it's like a never-ending story. There's always something happening at MODA 2000. Like we're always gonna get like new faces coming in, like with our models, with our team. So new designs. So
Well, congratulations, you guys. You guys have had
Aw.
a huge success. Do you have any other projects you guys are working on?
Yes, so we're actually working on a pop-up for a different state. We'll leave that to Quince Empire to like show you guys
Just
like
find out
where we're
soon.
going.
Oh my god!
But yeah, but
How
we are going to a
exciting.
different state to do a pop-up, so we're super excited about that.
Congratulations! I'm so excited. to
Yeah.
see
So
this.
we're debating
So we're-
between Las Vegas.
Texas
And the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Oh, nice! Oh my god, how fun!
I think we already know where we're going. We are going to 3, like for
All
all
of them.
3, but we're like debating which one to go to first. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh my god, congratulations, you guys.
Thank
well,
you.
Thank
make sure
you.
you guys go ahead and check out Quince Empire on their YouTube channel.
Yes.
Congratulations. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys go ahead and comment where you guys want them to go.
Yeah. Yay.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. And I think that's all.
Yeah, thank you for
you.
having
Thank you for
us.
having
Bye.
us.
Oh my god, of course, you guys were so fun.
Oh, thank you.
Bye.